Have you ever asked yourself where racism came from? How did we reach this point of hating each other based on race, based on skin color? The thing is, racism is a word so heavy with pain, division, and struggle. It's not just a relic of the past, it shapes lives even today. But where did it come from? How did humanity, capable of so much kindness, create systems of hate and exclusion? In this video, we'll dive into the deep roots of racism, its origin, its evolution, and its enduring impact till this day. Let's start the video. To understand racism, we must begin with the truth that many forget, that all humans share a common origin. Modern humans, or Homo sapiens, first appeared in Africa around 300,000 years ago. As they migrated across the globe, they adapted to different climates, leading to variations in skin color, hair texture, and other traits. These differences were purely biological adaptations, not markers of superiority or inferiority. Skin color, for example, evolved due to melanin. In regions with intense sunlight, darker skin protected against UV radiation, while lighter skin helps synthesize vitamin D in areas with less sunlight. These changes were practical but not personal. We see that in the early human history, differences in appearance were noted but not yet weaponized. People identified more with their tribes, religions, or even the languages than their physical traits. However, as civilizations grew and competition for resources intensified, so did the need to define us versus them. This wasn't racism as we know it today, but ethnocentrism, judging another culture based on one's own. For example, ancient Greeks viewed non-Greeks as barbarians, a term rooted in how unfamiliar languages sounded to them. Yet, even with these biases, ancient societies often celebrated diversity. The Silk Road connected Asia, Africa, and Europe, fostering exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. But cracks were forming day by day. The 15th century marked a turning point. European exploration led to the encounters with new peoples. Colonization followed, fueled by a thirst for land, wealth, and resources, plus power. But how do you justify enslaving, exploiting, or displacing millions? There is only one way: by creating a narrative that dehumanizes them. European powers began constructing racial hierarchies, portraying darker-skinned peoples as less intelligent, less civilized, and even less human. These ideas weren't scientific, but served as convenient excuses for brutality. Slavery, especially in the Americas, became the engine of these beliefs. Africans were ripped from their homelands, chained, and sold. To make such horrors acceptable, societies leaned on pseudoscience and religion, claiming slavery was natural or even divinely sanctioned. By the 18th century, the Enlightenment promised progress and reason, but it also gave rise to scientific racism. Thinkers like Karl Linnaeus and Johann Blumenbach classified humans into races, placing white Europeans at the top. These classifications were arbitrary but had devastating consequences. Pseudosciences like phrenology, measuring skull shapes, and eugenics, controlling breeding emerged. They claimed to prove racial superiority and justify oppression, from apartheid to Jim Crow laws. The 20th century brought resistance. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., and Nelson Mandela challenged racism head-on. Laws, societies, all evolved, but the legacy of racism lingers till this day. Well, The thing is, racism didn't just vanish out of the blue. It adopted. Today, systemic inequalities rooted in history continue to affect millions. Recognizing this isn't about blame, it's about understanding and action. Racism wasn't inevitable, it was constructed, and what was built can be dismantled. Education, empathy, and activism are our tools. Start by learning the real history, not the sanitized version. I know there is sanitized history nowadays. Have uncomfortable conversations. Amplify marginalized voices. And remember, small actions ripple into big changes. The story of racism is painful. Yes, that's true. But it's not the only story. Humanity is also capable of unity, love, and justice. The question is, what story will we write next? That's life. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so that we can move together and find out how can we end racism and live together. Thank you.